So the lectures will start recording. Okay. So the next topic for our discussion for today is the correlation and regression. So let me share you with the screen. If Excel sheet is visible to you?
Yes, sir.
So the correlation and regression. So first is the difference between the two, and what do you mean by correlation and regression? So correlation will tell me the relation between the two variables. Like if suppose there will be two variables, age and height. So the correlation will tell me the relation between these two. That what is the relation of age and height among itself. So that is known as your correlation. Fine. So if we take the example of age and height, so it is clear that there is a relation between the age and height, as there is a positive relation. Both have a both are in the increasing direction. So there is a positive correlation between the age and height. Now, if we consider between the if we can say the sales of a soft drink and the weather condition. So sales of so more the if as the temperature increase, your the sales of soft drink will also increase. So it is a positive correlation between the temperature and the soft drink. So as the you can say there will be a positive relation, temperature will increase, the sales of soft drink will also increase. But if you take the case of the sales of tea, coffee, so it will be a inverse relation. As the temperature got increased, so your sales of tea, coffee get decreased. So the lesser the temperature, the more is the sales of tea, coffee, you can say, because they are because it is like the lesser the temperature, the more cold it is, and we are more you can say inclined towards the tea, coffee rather than the soft drink in the winters. So that is the but there is a relation between the two variables, but we have to check whether they are positively correlated. So positively correlation means they are moving in the same direction. If one is increasing, other one is also in the increasing, that is positive, or one is decreasing, other one is also in the decreasing. So in the same direction it is positive, in the opposite direction it is a negative correlation, and if there will be no relation, it is a case of no correlation. So for example, the you can say height and income, we have analyzed or we have collected the data for the height of the individuals and the income of the individuals. So it will be like no correlation between the income and the height. We cannot say like this, the more the height, if the height is more, the income will be more. It is not like that. So it is a case of your no correlation. Fine. So that is your correlation, which tells me, and now we have to quantify this. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Now we have to quantify this. We cannot say like this, it is a lower correlation, it is a higher correlation. We have to quantify it, that what is the measurement of lower and what is the measurement of higher. So the measures of correlation will help me to quantify this correlation, that what is the value of that lower correlation or what is the value of the higher correlation, and so on. So that we will do in the measures of correlation, but the general example of correlation is the quantity which measures the relation between the two variables is known as correlation. Clear? Now comes the second is your regression. So your regression is the regression is that part which also tells the cause and effect. It will also tell the relation, but which is the cause and which is the effect. For example, in our cases which we have discussed earlier, the height and age. So age is because of height or height is because of age? Tell me. What is more
Sir,
logical
height
if you
is
are saying
because of age.
so height is because of age. So as it is more logical to say as the individual's age increases, so as the height will also increase. So here the cause is the age and my effect is the height. There, my another example will be like the effect of temperature on the sales of tea, coffee. So here it is like which is the cause, which is the effect. So the change in the weather conditions is the cause. And what is the reason? Reason is the change in weather, and I have to see the effect on the sales of tea, coffee. So sales of tea, coffee will be the effect, and the cause is because of the change in the temperature. So, but correlation will does not tell me that which is the cause and which is the effect, but regression will also tell me which is the cause and which is the effect. So that is a difference between the correlation and regression. Fine. So that is the basic difference between the correlation and regression. That if we are talking of a correlation coefficient between the two variables x, y. So if it is x, r is the symbol for correlation coefficient. If r xy or r yx, it is one and the same thing. It will tell the correlation between the x and y, or y on x or x on y. It is same thing in the case of correlation. But when we are talking of regression, suppose it will be like b is the representation of the regression coefficient. Bxy or byx are the two different things, because we have swapped the cause and effect variables in it. So in the nutshell, it is like in regression, we have to tell that which is my dependent variable and which is my independent variable in our case. So the cause variable is known as the independent variable, and the effect variable is known as your dependent variable. So there must be some effect. We want to analyze the effect of one variable due to the other. So due to the other means that is a cause. So that is your independent variable, and your effect variable is known as your dependent variable. So we can reverse also, like if we have to find that what is the effect of age on height, it will be like age on height regression. If it is like height on age, how the height is dependent on age. But if we reverse it, like how the age is dependent on height, so then the equation becomes age on height. So there will be a dependent variable and independent variable we have to define in case of regression. So before applying the regression analysis, we have to define that which variable is my independent and which variable is my dependent, which is my cause and which is my effect. So I have to tell the system that I have to check this particular results for whether A as a dependent or B as a dependent or A as an independent or B as an independent. So that dependent and independent will talk in the case of only regression. But if we talk of correlation, it will not be, it will only be two variables. It is not like the cause and effect it will tell me. Fine. So first we'll start with the correlation and then we will do the regression. So correlation can be measured. Now we have to measure this correlation. So the first method to measure this correlation is scatter diagram. So there will be three methods again to measure this. We can say the measures of correlation is the topic. So measures of correlation. So the first is known as the first method is scatter diagram. The next one is Spearman's rank correlation. And the third one is Karl Pearson's coefficient of correlation. So there will be three methods to measure this correlation: scatter diagram, Spearman's rank correlation, and the Karl Pearson's coefficient of correlation. One second, hold on.
Disconnected.
Okay. So the first is your scatter diagram. So the first method is your scatter diagram. The scatter diagram is none other than the graphical method to represent. So graphical method is, suppose we have a two variables, like we have age and height. So the age and height, suppose we have collected the data for age and height, like the age is maybe 25, 26, 27, 29, 29, 31, 35, 36. Suppose we have collected the data for 7 individuals. So this is the age data, and for height it is like maybe 65 centimeters, 63, 69, 67, 62, 63, 65, and 61. This is suppose my data. I want to find if there is any relation between the age and height. So one thing I'll do is we have to make a graph. So I can take either variable on x-axis or on y-axis. So what we will take, we'll make plot a graph of this. So we will go to this chart, then we can make a scatter diagram, and this you can make at a. So this is your scatter diagram in which yeah, so it has taken age on the x-axis. So it has plotted age on the x-axis and height on the y-axis. So here it is like this curve. So if we see this as the height, or if we can see, there is no particular shape of this graph. So there is no particular shape of this graph. So that's why it is a case of a more or the less no correlation. But if we take the data as suppose this one, suppose we'll change the data now. So this is my age, and height is suppose like it is also suppose increasing 62, 63, 65, 66, 67, 69, 71. Fine. Now if we plot the graph for this, so again we have to go to insert the scatter diagram. So now here this is the scatter diagram. So compare these two graphs. So here compare these two graphs. These two graphs are visible to you? So
Yes, sir.
now if you compare these two graphs, so it will be like in the former graph there will be no shape, but if you take the shape of this curve, it is a linear graph. You can represent in a linear direction. If we join these points, it is a linear slope, linear curve. So then we can say that it is a positive correlation curve. So the any shape of the graph which relates to the positive direction of the line. So if we as, so it is a positive relation. As the age increase, the height will also increase. So the shape of the graph, it is a positively sloped line. It is a case of a positive correlation. Clear? So it is a case of a positive correlation, as in the former case you are governing no particular shape of the graph. So that is a case of maybe zero correlation. So but in the second graph it shows a positively sloped curve. So that's why it is a case of a positive correlation. Okay. Now we'll check what is the case of a negative correlation. So let's check that also. So what is the case of a negative correlation? So for that, again we have to change the data. So we will change the data as this. So we reverse the data. So like 71, 69, 67, 66, 65, 63, and 62. Suppose we reverse the data. So I'll change the data from this to this. So we'll make the another graph for the same. So let's delete this. Fine. So now see this curve now. So as we have seen that this curve is now negatively sloped. So it will be like higher to lower. So that's why this symbolizes that it is a case of a negative correlation, because the shape of the curve will be like the negatively sloped. So the shape of the curve will be determining that what is the type of correlation between the two variables. So if it is a positively sloped curve, it is a positive correlation. If it is a negatively sloped curve, it is a negative correlation. If it is no shape, then it is a case of your no correlation or zero correlation. Fine. And any deviation, so this is suppose the ideal. So suppose this is the ideal condition, this diagonal line. Any deviations from this diagonal line will determine that if the points of my curve lies maybe you can say surrounding the diagonal line, positively sloped diagonal line. It is a not a perfect positive, it is a positive correlation but not a perfect positive. But if the points are around a negatively sloped diagonal line, then it is a case of higher negative correlation but not perfect negative correlation. So the shape of the curve will determine the level of correlation between the two variables. So that is known as your scatter diagrams. Clear? So that is the scatter diagram. So in making a decision through scatter diagram, what we have to do, we have to plot the two variables, whatever the variables is, one on the x-axis and another on the y-axis. You make any variable on x and any variable on y, it is up to you. Once we'll plot those variables, what is the shape of the graph will determine the level of correlation. So if it is positively sloped points, it is positive correlation. If it is negatively sloped, it is negative correlation. No shape, it is a case of zero correlation. Fine enough. But what is the drawback of this scatter diagram? Can anyone tell what is the drawback of this scatter diagram? Yes. If anyone can tell me what is the drawback of this scatter diagram? Again, it is like subjective in nature. So maybe one may interpret that these are the negatively sloped line, but another may interpret it that the every point is not on the negatively sloped line. So the reading of the graph may depend upon the individual to individual. So it is not a sure shot case that what will be the case of this particular. So that's why we have to move to the, so that is the drawback. So there is a subjectivity measure involved in the case of scatter diagram, that I am reading that this is a more positive correlation, you are reading it as a less positive correlation. So that is not an objective case. So that's why we want to measure it with the objectivity, that whatever the measure of correlation it is same for all. So for that reason, we want the analytical measures, which is your Spearman's rank correlation and Karl Pearson's coefficient of correlation. Clear? So now we will do the Karl Pearson and the scattered and the Karl Pearson's coefficient of correlation. So first we'll do this Spearman's rank correlation. So Spearman's rank correlation is, here the Spearman's rank correlation, it itself says that data must be in the form of ranking. The data must be in the form of ranking. That is the prior condition in case of the Spearman's rank correlation. So in case if the data is not in the ranking, we have to convert the data into the ranks form. Then only we can apply the Spearman's rank correlation, because the name itself says the data must be in the form of ranks. If the data is not in the ranks form, we cannot apply the Spearman's rank correlation to the data. So the condition A of this Spearman rank correlation is the data must be in the form of ranking. So let's take the example. So there will be competition is going on, and there will be two judges who are making the judgments on the contestants. So there will be two judges, J1 and J2, and there will be suppose 5 contestants, 1, 2, 3, like, and we're not making 1 2 3, otherwise we may confuse A, B, C, D or E. So suppose there will be 5 contestants, and these 5 contestants are judged by 2 judges, J1 and J2. And the condition is these 2 judges make the judgment independently. They not consult each other before making the judgment. So a contestant comes, the judge 1 has to give the ranking. To A also, judge 1 has to also give the ranking to A, and J2 will also give the ranking to A, and there will be 5 candidates, so they have to give the rank from 1 to 5. Fine. So let's suppose the judge 1 has giving the ranking as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and judge 2 has given the ranking as again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now we have to find that if there is any correlation between the judge 1 and the judge 2 ranks. So logically, what should be the answer? Logically speaking, seeing the data, what should be the answer? Tell me what should be the answer for this? Yes, anybody can tell what should be the correlation for this? The question is, we want to analyze if there is any relation between the judge 1 and judge 2 marks. So it is like if the judge 1 is giving a person like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the judge 2 is giving the same ranks. So the J1 and J2 have both higher consensus among each other, as there is no difference in the opinion of J1 and J2. So that is a case of a perfect positive correlation. So answer must be +1. And I forget to tell you that the correlation coefficient can be from -1 to +1. A correlation coefficient cannot take the values less than -1 and values greater than +1. So correlation always lies between -1 to +1. So -1, if it is value is, then it is a case of perfect negative correlation. If the value is +1, it is a case of perfect positive correlation. And if it is 0, it is a case of 0 correlation. And any positive or negative value, it is like if the value comes out to be, the coefficient of correlation comes out to be maybe 0.7 or 0.8, it is a case of higher positive correlation. If it is 0.2 or 0.3, it is a case of a lower positive correlation. If it is minus 0.8 or minus 0.9, it is a case of higher negative correlation. If it is minus 0.2 or minus 0.3, it is a case of a lower negative correlation. So in that way, we have to determine that the level of the higher correlation or the higher negative, higher positive in that way. So we have to make the analysis accordingly. Fine. So in this particular example, if we see over here, so if we are see our example, it is all the values of the judge 1 and judge 2 are coincide with each other. So that means that both the judges have so both the judgment has the higher correlation. So it is higher positive correlation, you can say. So the result is a higher positive correlation. Fine. So let's do the calculation then. So our logical answer for this question must be equal to +1. So the logical answer should come, that is +1. Now we will see by applying the Spearman's rank correlation. So again, if we come with the +1 or not. So the logical answer must match with our numerical answer. So that we will see now our numerical answer if match with the logical answer or not. Fine. So for that we have to calculate the Spearman's rank correlation, which is R. So it is represented by small r. So the formula for the R is equal to Spearman's rank correlation is equal to, that is 1 minus 6 sigma d square. So it will be 1 minus 6 sigma d square. Where is the sigma? Yes. Okay, so 1 minus 6 sigma. So this will be 1 minus 6 sigma d square divided by, and this is in the bracket. So 1 minus 6 sigma d square divided by n into n square minus 1. Fine. So that will be the formula for the so 1 minus 6 sigma d square divided by so it is 1 minus 6 sigma d square divided by n into n square minus 1. So fine. So now we have to calculate this, and where D is the difference in the rank of the two judgments. So D here is, so D is equal to, so if we want to calculate the D, so D is equal to J1 minus J2. So the difference between the ranking of the two judges, so that is your D. So if we calculate the D over here, it is 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. So that there will be no difference in the ranking, so D becomes 0. Then we want to calculate D square. So D square, if we calculate, that is again all zeros, so 0 square is all zeros. So if we put 10, the summation of D square, so summation of D square, so it will sum all these D squares. So this will be again 0. So when we apply over here, so R is equal to 1 minus 6 into 0. Sigma d square is 0 divided by n is 5. So 5 into n square is 25 minus 1. So that is your answer. So that becomes 6 into 0. 0 by something is 0. So 1 minus 0 is So R is equal to 1. So the numerical answer should also become as 1 also. So that is verified from that data that this. So numerically also the Spearman's rank correlation also comes out to be 1. Clear?
Sir,
Let's
excuse me, sir.
yes,
Repeat
yes,
one
yes.
more time, sir.
I'll take the another example. It automatically clears with that example. I'll change the data and I will explain you the another. So let's suppose, so this is the rank. Now this is suppose the ranks of the first, and I will take the rank of the judge 2 as, so suppose it will be like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 now. So now the question says, if the first contestant A come, the judge 1 has given him the first rank and judge 2 has given the fifth rank. So they are inverse. They have no consensus among the two judges. One judge has given A contestant as the best, another one as the worst. So judge 1 has interpreted the E contestant as the worst, but judge 2 has given him the best. So there is a perfect negative correlation among the two. So answer should be -1. So your Spearman rank correlation must be -1. So let's see if numerically also comes out to be -1. So let's check it. So the formula is 1 minus 6 sigma d square divided by n into n square minus 1. So we'll first have to calculate the d. So d becomes, so if we calculate the d, it is j1 minus j2. So it will be equal to j1 minus of j2. So that comes as d. So j1 minus j2, 2, 1 minus 5 minus 4, 2 minus 4 minus 2, 0, 2 and 4. So that comes out to be d. Then you have to solve for d square. So d square is this into this. So the d square is this multiply by this. So that is your d square. So which becomes 16, 4, 0, 2, 4 and 16. So that is d square. Now we have to calculate sigma d square. So summation of this d square comes out to be 40. So summation comes out to be 40. Now you have to apply the formula for r. So r is equal to, so r is equal to 1 minus sigma d square. So sigma 1 minus 6 into 40, 6 sigma d square. So 1 minus 6 into 40 divided by, there's a double bracket over here because 1 is outside this. So it is like 1 minus 6 into 40 divided by n into n square minus 1. So which is 5 into 5 square, 25 minus 1. That is the formula. So there is some BODMAS problem. So again we have to do it in the bracket. So the answer comes at -1. After solving this, you'll get the answer as -1. So it should be -1 only. Logically also it should come out to be -1. Fine. Any doubt in this?
No, sir.
The R value comes out to be -1, which shows that it is a case of perfect negative correlation. And the data also show that it is a perfect negative correlation as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So everybody is saying the different, every judge has a reverse consensus on that. So if the judge 1 is giving 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, judge 2 is giving 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So hence the answer should be -1, and it is representing -1 also. So any doubt up to now?
No, sir.
Anybody have any doubt up to now? No?
No, sir.
So if we proceed, can we proceed further?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now the next is, if the condition for Spearman rank correlation is we want to have, must be the data in the rank form. Now if the data, if it is not in the rank form, they are given in the marks. If I can convert the marks data into ranks, if I can convert the marks data in the form of ranks or not? Tell me. Tell me if I can convert the marks into ranks or ranks into marks. We have
Marks
done
into
the
rank.
ordinal data and the scale data. So that is the difference. The ordinal data means that the data is in the form of ranks, and scale data is in the form of marks. So if we can convert ordinal to scale or scale to ordinal,
Ordinal to scale.
how I can convert ordinal to scale? If suppose the data is given in the form of ranks, I can convert it in the form of marks.
No, sir.
So vice versa is possible. If the data is given in the form of scale data, I can convert in the form of ranks, but not a vice versa. So if suppose we are given with the marks data, now and the question is we have to calculate the Spearman's rank correlation. So you first have to convert your data into rank form. So let's suppose that is the second modification of the same. You are given with the marks data now. So 10 students have this marks of, so let's suppose this is the marks in stats, and the another one is the marks in maths. So suppose there will be two subjects, maths and stats. You are provided with the marks, not with the ranks. So marks in the stats and marks in the maths. So this will be like 25, 26, 27, 20, 24, 28, 30, 35, 39, 34, 37. Yeah. So suppose these were the marks in the stats scored by the 10 students, and marks in maths is 28, 29, 35, 31, 27, 26, 24, 36, 39, 41. Suppose these were the marks scored by the student in the math. Now we want to calculate the Spearman's rank correlation. So condition is we have to require the data in the ranks. So we
अब मैंने दोबारा कराया वरना तो absent रह जाएगा.
So keep in mute mode. So we have to keep the ranks. So now the step is conversion of this marks data into the ranks. So we have to convert this marks data into the ranks. So the case is we have to give the ranks. Now you can give the ranks with any definition, like the lowest marks is to be given the highest rank, and the highest marks given the first rank, or a vice versa. It is up to you, but whatever definition you will choose, you have to keep the same for both stats and math. It is not like we have given the increasing order of the ranks in stats and decreasing order of ranks in maths. So whatever the definition you have selected, it is to be same for both the variables, stats also, maths also. But as a general notation, we give the ranks as highest marks as rank 1, and then so we have to give the decreasing order of the ranks. So the highest marks in stats is 39. So that is given as rank 1. Then after 39 it is 37 is given as second rank. Then you have 35. So it is third. Then fourth. After 34 it is 30. So that is 5. Then 6. Then 7. Then 8. Then 9. And then last is 10. So these are the ranks for math. Similarly, you have to calculate the ranks for, these are the ranks for stats. In the same way, you have to calculate the ranks for math. So for math, the highest is 41, so it is 1. Then this is 2. Now 36 is 3. 35 is 4. Then after 35 is 4. Then 31. So this is 5. Then you have after 31. 29. So this is 6, this is 7, this is 8, this is 9, and this is 10. So these are the marks scored by the students and ranks in the maths. Now it will be in the rank form. Now it will be like the same question which we have did earlier. So you have to calculate the D first, which will be equal to R1 minus rank 1 minus rank 2, or rank in stats minus rank in maths. So whether you will calculate stats minus maths or maths minus stats, there will be no difference, because ultimately you have to calculate D square. So अगर A minus B करो या B minus A करो, it does not make any difference, because ultimately you have to find the D square. So that negative sign will automatically finish off. So this becomes, so if we'll do the difference, it becomes this minus of this. So it becomes 2. Then again it is 2, 3, 5, minus 2, minus 4, minus 7, minus 2, plus 2, and plus 1. So that becomes your D. Now you have to calculate same way the D square. So D square will be equal to this multiplied by this only. So that is 4, 4, 4, 9, 25, 4, 16, 49, 4, 4, 1. So that becomes your D square. Now the summation of D square you want, so summation of D square will be 120. Now apply the formula. So R is equal to 1 minus of 6 into 120, 6 sigma D square, divided by n. N is 10 over here.
10.
So 10 into 10 square is 100 minus 1. So that comes out to be 0.2727. So R value comes out to be 0.2727, which says there is a positive correlation between the marks in stats and maths, but with a weak correlation. It is not so strong that it comes out to be like less than 0.5. So the positive correlation, it is a plus sign. So that's why there is a positive correlation, and it will be a lower positive because the magnitude of the same will be 0.272. So if it is 0.872, we can say it is a higher positive correlation. But because it is only 0.272, so we can say there is a positive correlation, but a weak positive correlation among the marks in stats and maths. So the interpretation of the same is, if we can make out the results out of the same, it is like the student who has scored higher marks in stats, has also scored higher marks in math, but with a lower extent. But with a lower extent, it is positive correlation, but with a lower extent. Clear? But if the every student has scored the greater marks over here, and if each student who has scored the higher marks in stats has also scored the higher marks in maths, then it is a case of a perfect positive correlation. Clear? So we have made a model of the regression now. Suppose we'll change the data. So like suppose we have changed the data, we have to change the ranks. So this is clear. So let's suppose take the example by changing the ranks. So it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. And the same rank is here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. So after pressing the enter, what should be the result? The result of R should be +1. Okay, I am not made as a reference by value. So this becomes 0. So the answer should be +1. So it comes out to be +1. Fine. Now if I'll change the data like this, that is all you can do the, you can say, playing with the data. So if you change the data, that is 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then this data should be -1. So it is 330. So it is -1. So the data value comes of R should be -1, and logically should be -1, and numerically also through the formula it also comes as to be -1. Clear enough?
Yes, sir.
Any doubts in these two cases? Now the case 3. Case 3 is when there is clash in the marks. So when there is clash in the marks means, suppose this will be your data. So suppose this will be my data. Fine. So these are the and data is, now I have changed the data, 24, 25, 26, 26, 25, 28, 29. Suppose this will be the data for stats, and for this it is like 28, 24, 25, 24, 26, 24, 23, 28, 26. So let's take this data now. So these are the marks in stats and these are the marks in maths. Again, we have to convert it into ranks. So that is ranks RS, ranks in stats and ranks in maths. Fine. So now do the ranking of the same. As you have done the previous ranking, does the ranking of the same also. So now you have to keep the ranks of the stats. So highest marks in stats is 35, but there will be 2 now which is 35. Now there will be 2 marks which is 35. So there will be 2 marks which is 35 now. So if you can give 1 and 2, 1 to this, 2 to this. So if you give like this 1 and 2, so it is illogical. So both have scored the same marks. So they both should deserve the same rank also. How we can distinguish that this is 1 and this is 2? So this is maybe the partiality for these students. So if I am giving a 1 as rank 1 to one person and rank 2 to the other person, So if both the students have scored the same marks, they should deserve the same rank also. So for that reason, what we can do, we can see this clash in the marks is when which ranks. So these clash is in the 1 and the 2 rank. So there will be 2 of 35 marks. So there will be clash in 1 and 2 rank. So we will take the average of 1 and 2. So what will be the average of 1 and 2? So 1 plus 2, 3 divided by 2, 1.5. So both will be given as the rank of 1.5 and 1.5. So that is the way in which we can give the ranks in case if there is clash in the marks.
सो इसको मैथ्स वाली रैंक में लिखना है या स्टैट वाली रैंक में लिखना है?
Stats. पहले अभी दोनों की करेंगे. First we'll see with the stats and then we will do. Okay. Okay. My problem. I have to write over here. Fine. Clear? Thank you. So it will be here in the rank of the statistics. So it will be 1.5 and 1.5. Then next lower to 35 is 31. So we have already used 1 and 2 rank. So now the next rank is 3. So there is a clash in the marks of 1 and 2 ranks. So we have taken the average of 1 and 2 and 1.5 and 1.5 we are given to both. Now 1 and 2 we have already consumed. So next rank is 3. So which is 31. So we have to give the rank 3 to this 31. Now next is after 31 it is 29. So there is no clash of the marks in 29. So it has to given rank 4. Then 28. So 28 is also a single, that is 5. Then after 28 it is 26. But 26 is again given to the 2 students. So that's why there is a clash of which ranks? 6 and 7. So there will be clash in 6 and 7. So you have to take the average. So which is 6.5 and 6.5. So 6.5, 6.5. So your 6 and 7 rank will go. Now there is 25. So 25 is again with 2. So which are 6 and 7 already has gone. So there is a clash in 8th and 9th. So there is the average of 8 and 9 is 8.5. So both will be provided with 8.5 and 8.5. So 8 and 9 goes. So then you are left with 24, that is 10. So in this way you have to give the ranks in if there is a clash in the marks. Clear? The point is clear?
Yes, sir.
Now in the same way you have to give the marks in maths. So which one is the highest? Highest
34.
is 34. And no clash. So it will be given as rank 1. Now lower to 34 is
28.
28. And there will be 128 and second 28. So there will be 228 values. So there will be clash in second and third. So the average of second and third is 2.5. So 2.5 will be deserved with this. So 2.5 is this. Sorry. 2.5 is this. And 2.5 is also this 28. Now below 28 it is 26. So 126. There will be two values again of 26. So which is a clash of which two ranks? 4 and 5. So that's why the average is 4.5. So 4.5 and 4.5. No. 26 is the one. So 26 is the next. And there will be only two values for 26. So that becomes 4.5. And this becomes also 4.5. Then 26. Below to 26 it is 25. So there will be only one rank of 25. So that is 4 and 5 is used. So 6. Then 25 के बाद 24.
24,
So 1,
2, 3.
2 and 3 values are there. So 3 values means 7, 8, 9. So there will be clash in the ranks, 3 ranks, 7, 8 and 9. So you have to take the average of 7, 8 and 9. So 7 plus 8. What is 7 plus 8? 15.
15,
15 plus 9.
24.
24.
24.
24. 24 divided by 3. Average is all the sum total divided by number of elements. So it is coming out to be 8. So all the 3 will deserve the rank 8. And then 7, 8, 9 will be consumed. So rest is 10. So we are giving the rank to this as 10. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Any doubt in giving the ranks?
No, sir.
So now the formula is R is equal to, there is slight difference in the formula also. So 1 minus so 1 minus 6 so 1 minus 6 sigma d square. यहाँ तक तो same है. Then this factor must be added to this. So plus 1 by 2 into m1 into m1 square minus 1. Then plus 1 by 2 m2 into m2 square minus 1 plus 1 by 2 m3 into m3 square minus 1 plus 1 by 2 m4 into m4 square minus 1 plus so on, and divided by n into n square minus 1. So that is the
Hello. So you are not audible.
Yes, sir. It's not audible.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So
Yes, sir.
that is 1 minus 6 into 1 minus 6 into sigma d square plus 1 by 2 into m1 square. So it will be like m1 into 1 by 2 m1, this is square. Fine. So 1 by 2 into m1 square minus 1 plus 1 by 2 into same way m2 into m2 square minus 1 plus 1 by 2 into m3 square minus 1 plus 1 by 2 into m4 square minus 1 plus so on, and divided by n into n square minus 1. Clear? So now you know, now you have to calculate the same way, that is d. So d here is none other than that same way you have calculated rs. So d is equal to rs minus rm. So which will be equal to, if you do the calculations, it will be like this minus of this. So that will be your d. Now you have to calculate d square. That is up to the same way that you have calculated earlier. So which will be this into itself. So this will be your d square. And then you have to make the sum of all. So 129.5, that will be your summation of d square. So if you apply over here, so it becomes 1 minus. Remember this 6 is outside it. So which will be equal to 1 minus 6 into sigma d square, which is this. So 1 minus 6 sigma d square plus of, so it is 1 minus 6 sigma d square. So that is I185 contains I85 contains this value. So 1 minus 6 sigma d square plus 1 by 2 can be written as 0.5. So 0.5 into m1. Now what is the values of m1 and what is the value of m1, m2, m3? Now the question comes, what will be the values of this m1, m2, m3? And the first is, I have written over is dash dash dash. So up to this factor is repeating. See this 1 by 2 m1 into m1 square minus 1, फिर m2, फिर m3, फिर m4. So how many factors are these are repeating in the question? So that depends upon the number of repetitions or number of clashes in the data. So how many times there will be clash in the data? So how many ranks are there which are clashed? So like suppose in this R stats, there is one clash. There is a clash in this 35. So there is one clash in this. Then you have clash in 6.5, 6.5. Then you have a clash in 8.5, 8.5. So there will be three clashes in stats. One 1.5, 1.5, then 6.5, 6.5, and 8.5, 8.5. So there will be three clashes in stats. And in maths, how many clashes? 2.5. So there will be clash 1 in 2.5, then in 4.5, and then in 8. So there will be a 3 again clashes in maths. So there will be 3 clashes in stats, 3 clashes in maths. So there will be a total of 6 sets. So it goes up to M6 value. Fine. So how many sets are there? That depends upon that. So there will be 6 repetitions are there. So in stats, there will be first clash in this 1.5, 1.5, another clash in 6.5, 6.5, the third clash is in 8.5, 8.5. So there will be 3 clashes in stats. Now we will check the maths. So there will be first clash in 2.5, second clash in 4.5, and the third clash is in 8. So that becomes, there will be 6 sets. Now there will be 6 sets, so you have to define the values of this now: M1, M2, M3, M4, M5, M6. So what should be the values of these M1, M2, M3, M4, M5, M6? So the value of M1 will depend upon the first clash is in between how many marks. So the first is between 2. So M1 value is 2. M2 is again between the 2. So that is 2. M3 is again 2. M3 is 2. M4 is 2. M4 value is 2. M5 is again 2. M5 is also 2. But if we are talking of M6, that clash is between the 3 ranks. So M6 value is 3. So you will put all the values and calculate it. So you will get M1 is 0.1 by 2 is 0.5. M2 is, so we will solve this as separate, because otherwise the formula becomes very complex. So we will calculate like this, which will be equal to 0.5 multiply by 2 multiply by 2 square minus 1, so which is 3. The answer comes as to be, for this factor, the answer comes as to be 3. So 2 into 2 square minus 1. So 2 square minus 1 is 3. 3 into 2 is 6. 6 by 2 is 3. So this factor comes out to be 3. This is again 3. This is again 3. This is again 3. And M5 is also 3. Now for, if the value is M6 value is 3. Now what is the value? 0.5 into 3 into 9 minus 1, 8. So that comes out to be 12. So that factor comes out to be 12. So here if we apply, so this becomes 1 minus 6 into sigma d square plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. 5 times it is 3 and plus 12. Fine. So 1 minus 6 into this divided by, and again 1 minus 6, yes. So divided by n into n square minus 1. So n is 10. So 10 into, so 10 into 10 square minus 1 is 99. Clear? So if you solve this, you will get 0.05. So that will be your level of correlation between the two ranks, Spearman's rank correlation between the two variables when there is a clash in the ranks. Clear? Any doubt in this?
No, sir.
Clear is this? The concept is clear to you? So
Yes.
this is the number of sets which is repeating. So we have to see the number of repetition, the number of sets which are repeating, and then the values of M1, M2 will depend upon the, in how many ranks it will be a repetition. Like if the first repetition is, if the first clash is between which, how much number of marks. So all the are 2, but M6 is of 6, is of 3 repetitions. So then that's why there is a, so this is the particular concept we can do it like this. 1 second, I'm not remember. 1 minus 6. Okay. Fine. So that will be your Spearman's rank correlation in case of a multiple ranking. Clear? So that is your Spearman's rank correlation, but the condition here is the data must be in the form of ranks. So we have to convert our marks data into ranks data in case if we want to calculate the Spearman's rank correlation. But if we want to find the correlation directly, if there will be, if we don't calculate these ranks, so if we directly take the data for the rank, the correlation for marks data, it is the Karl Pearson's coefficient of correlation. So in calculation of Karl Pearson's coefficient of correlation, we do not need to convert this marks data into the ranks, because the Karl Pearson's of coefficient of correlation works on the marks data, not on the rank data. So if it is a case of rank data, we have to convert it into ranks. If it is a Spearman's rank, if it is a Karl Pearson's coefficient of correlation, then you need not to change this marks data into ranks. You can directly apply the Karl Pearson's coefficient of correlation to this selected data. But if you are given the ranks, then there is no other way but to calculate the Spearman rank correlation only, because you cannot convert your rank data into scale data. There is no way to convert your rank data to scale data. So if the data is given in the form of ranks, there is no other method to calculate the Spearman rank correlation only. But if you are provided with the marks data, you can calculate Karl Pearson's or Spearman. But if you have to calculate Spearman rank, then we have to convert the data first into ranks, then you can calculate the Spearman rank. But if you are directly using the marks data, it is a Karl Pearson coefficient of correlation. Fine? Clear enough?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Okay. It seems that I have one confusion in this formula. I think it should be 1 by 12. I'll reconfirm and then I will let you know in the next class that if it is 1 by 12 or 1 by 2. Okay, I will let you know this in the next class. Remind me in the starting of the next class.
Okay.
The only difference may come is only 1 by 12 or 1 by 2. Rest is same, but I have a confusion now that if it is 1 by 12 or 1 by 2. Okay, so remind me tomorrow morning. So I will discuss, I will recheck it and then I will let you know that if it is 1 by 12 or 1 by 2. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So I'm ending the class right now. So the rest we will discuss tomorrow.